12 years ago, we were living in Fairfield County, Connecticut, and a mentally ill boy that day took his mom's guns and murdered 26 innocent people in a nearby school to where my children were. It included 20 first graders, and my son at the time was in the first grade. Then less than a year ago, almost 12 years after the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting, I was driving to my children's school in our home of Nashville, Tennessee, to a parent-teacher conference, and I was about a half a mile from our school when I saw a young woman with dozens of small children run out of the woods. And my first thought was, what is this woman doing in the street crossing a 5-lane highway with these tiny children? And as I reached to help the children and help them cross the road, it became clear that whatever they were running from was scarier than these cars in the street. The fear on their faces and the terror and the confusion as we got them to safety, and then the 6 ambulances that drove by us and let us know exactly what had happened, these memories will not allow me to stop fighting for ways to keep our children and our communities and our country safer. That day, we lost 3 educators and 3 third-grade children from the Covenant School, and my youngest son was in the 3rd grade at the time. And once again, tragedy had hit so close to home, and I had to stop and wonder, once again, will we be next? And I had been a staunch Second Amendment woman who believed our freedoms could not be infringed upon with new laws. And back in 2012, after the shooting at Sandy Hook, I spent months of sleepless nights praying for the families of that nearby town. I started wanting to make sure that that could never happen again. And in digging and educating myself on guns and gun laws across the nation, I learned that laws do change. That, in fact, it happens all the time to make our world a safer place. I learned that MADD, the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, had been successful in preventing drunk driving accidents over tough, relentless years of battles with politicians. And I wanted to see that happen with this situation. I used to believe that you couldn't mess with the Second Amendment because that's a threat to our freedom as Americans. But now I can say that we are not free as long as weapons of war are allowed in the hands of untrained, unchecked citizens. We are not free if our children are forced to practice lockdown drills at school and at church. And we are not free if we have to live in fear.